Happy New Year!
It was like the who's going to jump and say something first. Welcome back to the Motus Podcast. Oh, is this pre-intro? This is pre-intro.
What do you mean pre-intro?
What is that? When are we going to do the music?
Oh, fuck yeah, I don't know.
Now?
Or now?
Now. Yeah, sorry about that. Welcome back to the...
Do you have any idea what that was?
What?
We're joined by someone today.
Hello.
There he is.
Jordan Tyler Lea.
Yeah.
This time, third time on the podcast, without a story about almost dying.
Yeah.
And he's nervous.
And he's nervous.
I am indeed very nervous.
Even though it's his third time and he's sitting in a room. Apologies for the massive delay. We went away for a few weeks and filmed more of this big video that people are getting all excited about and sending Aggie messages being like, "When is it coming out? I don't care that you're home with..." Some guy, like, I posted a video of Darwin this morning walking the dog. He was like, "But when is Soul Destroyer coming out?" And I'm like, "Fuck you, I'm walking my dog."
What's an Oreo?
He's just excited.
What's an Oreo?
Oh, is it that guy?
I don't know. This is someone else, I think. Message from Max Barker, who should also be here. But last night when we flew home from Lisbon, myself and Sarah were sitting in a restaurant with Max eating lunch. And we were like, "Oh, what seat are you, Max?" He was like, "I don't know, I'll check now." And then realised that his flight was at 7 a.m. that morning. So dropped 320 quid on a flight that comes in today.
Wow.
So thankfully, Max is a little baller because he did a job for H&M, which everyone is now DMing us.
Yeah.
And going, "Oh, Keelan's in an advert for H&M."
Really?
Yeah, there are a couple of people who thought it was you for some reason.
Weird.
I don't know how.
It shows his face at the end going like, look at my bucket hat.
With his glazed cheekbones.
Yeah.
Yeah, shitloads of makeup.
Weird.
But yeah, sorry for the delay. We had two really, really good episodes with Henry Blue about the Parkour game, which Dreams has just now been re-released, so you can go and snag that.
Has it? Did we buy it? You buy it?
I've already bought it, so I don't need to.
Oh, really? So that wasn't like a free?
Yeah. And Tyler Harder about the Empire Parkour gyms, which, people really, really like those two. So now we're going to hit you with an episode full of absolute guff. And And Jordan, basically.
Yeah.
So maybe it's the icing.
We can just call it Guff and Jordan.
Guff and Jordan.
Jordan Guffin.
Jordan Guffin. Sorry, Jordan.
But yeah, we intended on backlogging a few episodes, and we kind of did, but then didn't. But we did backlog YouTube videos.
Yeah, we did.
So we kept that up.
Whether or not we can keep that up,
we will
next week.
No, we will.
Keelan?
Don't worry. There's one coming out tomorrow.
Oh yeah, it's all done, ready for your eyes.
Yeah, we got one coming out tomorrow, and then next week is fine. We got time. Don't stress. But yeah, so the podcast slipped, but as always, thank you for the continued support and all that stuff. I think we're basically just going to talk primarily about Soul Destroyer because, just to continue building hype for something that's still not going to be out for months and then probably push back another year.
Yeah, I hope the hype meter's still relatively...
we fucked it. We've
relatively accurate because I hope the hype meter's not like way higher than the actual hype. The actual thing.
Yeah, the hype meter is like a broken thermometer on the ground and everyone's just trodden on it and got bored. I'm scared. But before we get into that, I was on the plane last night and for some reason wasn't terrified of flying, which I normally am, so I wrote some notes. But the first thing I wanted to talk about was the Stora Thamesmead video. Yeah. Which in my opinion is potentially the best thing they've made since Roof Culture. I can't think of a video that I've been like, "Wah!" like that since Roof Culture.
As in, compared to because if you think of how long they've kept up weekly videos though, still pretty impressive because they've got a lot of good parkour in their weekly videos. But,
the weekly videos are sick, but it's just like they don't...
None of them would stand... Because they're weekly, you wouldn't find one that stands out, I guess, and go, "Oh, that's one of their best videos of all time." Do you know what I mean? But apart from this one...
they did the night shot one with the lights, which was pretty cool.
It was cool, just like...
But the movement was like... I mean, there's definitely some fucking cool shit in there, but I wasn't like... Whoa! Then they did the Desert Rampage, which once again was fucking sick.
Yeah, that was really good.
But I think because it wasn't urban, it was hard to gauge some of the stuff.
Yeah. And they've done that before. They actually did that a while ago, and it was, in my opinion, a better video. So when I watched that, I was like, "Oh, that's sick," but I already seen it.
Yeah.
So this one was the Thamesmead one. I think was kind of new
and
style for them.
I mean, there's so many aspects of it. I love Thamesmead. I've been there so many times, and I've always said to the guys we should shoot there, and then for some reason we've just never done it. And even for Soul Destroyer, Marks was like, no, it's dead.
It looked ridiculous.
That could be an exaggeration, but I'm pretty certain he was like, nah, we shouldn't go there, because we were obviously looking for like unknown spots.
Yeah.
The edit is fucking incredible. Toby killed it on that. All the old footage.
I think that's what made it really different, because they could have just released the footage or done a vlog. I was actually convinced that they were going to make a vlog there.
I assume the vlog, there'll be a behind the scenes like next week.
Yeah, because of the hype, like, I don't know. It was a bit more than just for a vlog.
I knew the second, like, that they said they've got something coming, and then I spoke to Callum. He was like, oh, there's a Thamesmead video coming. I was like, this could be the closest vibe-wise to, like, what we're thinking with Soul Destroyer. When I thought Thamesmead, I was like, well, it's gritty, it's getting demolished, like, it's going to be vibey. And because obviously we have a vision for Soul Destroyer that we haven't fully publicised yet, and we haven't even really worked out.
Not really.
But we definitely want it to have a level of grit. And I was like, I know this is going to be like fucking a little pot of inspiration. So very, very
nice.
cool.
Was very, very nice.
But yeah, I assume we'll get a behind the scenes of that next week. I do like, if Stora keep this up, where they do like every couple of months they drop like a banger that might only get a few 100,000 views because the muggles don't care about it.
Yeah, but it keeps the parkour community really hyped, doesn't it?
And then they backlog. Well, then they release like the BTS off the back of it, which shows the process. Because there's some crazy lines in that.
Yeah.
Toby's 180.
The 180 was so
Benji's
nice.
descent are two like highlights.
What about Max's massive running? It looks like it was like a roof gap. But
I really want to see how big that is in person, because it's like 360 camera. You can't.
Yeah. I just rated the airform on it. It made it look, because he was like flailing and it was over the staircase onto grass. It was I think it's quite like a rare find.
I didn't think it was too big, to be fair, from the 360
That's
angle,
because
but he posted on Instagram.
Oh, really?
From the side view, and it looked big.
Oh, I might look that up now. Jordan.
I wonder, because it's to grass, it is really big, but one of those things that you could send, and because you don't have to land on something.
He said the angle was weird though, which I kind of understand. You had to go on like a weird kind of diagonal.
Yeah, that's pretty fat. That's pretty big.
Let me see.
I just watched it. Jordan has done a number of meaty height drops.
Fucking hell.
I reckon the grass was probably the right level of damp, like soft, because of all the rain recently.
So I'd be scared of that wet grass, because you slip out.
Yeah, imagine.
Yeah, Jordan, while shooting Soul Destroyer, has taken a number of he just looked at stuff and be like, I'll do this line, I'll do that, and then I'll just drop down there, and we're like, no. Like, yeah.
Oh wait, you have actually done that.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah.
Like, it's never been my I enjoy swings. I never thought I'd be loving high drops, and I mean,
it was ever since the one that you did when we were shooting in London. That first one, because I hadn't seen you do anything like that, and then
there's like a handful of like fat drops in this.
It was just I don't know. Every run I came up with, it was just like there's a wall and a big drop on the other side,
but it's a powerful.
I have to go over that more.
Yeah, you're like,
powerful ending.
I could just finish here, or I could jump over that wall to a drop that no one else wants to take.
Yeah.
But that's good. That's a good vibe for this type of video, I think.
Yeah. Plus, exactly. It makes
always at the end of the lines. The three that I can think are at the end of the line that you do a height drop.
Yeah.
Onto concrete, always. None of them are grass.
Yeah.
So,
in 3MCs.
Yeah, in thin
shoes. Skate shoes.
Yeah, in other news, just to keep this thing rolling, because we are on a bit of a time limit, because we're going out for dinner in a couple of hours to have
to celebrate your birthday early.
Yeah, which is on Monday. Depressingly.
Depressingly?
What do you mean? Because I'm turning 30, it's scary.
It's not. It's fucking awesome.
What is also awesome?
3 times a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
That's not that
Half
much.
of 60.
Imagine just
1/3 of 90.
Yeah, but imagine 3 10-year-olds running around. It's just like, that's just 3 of those if you put them in like a blender.
I've eaten 3.
That's you.
Yeah. Weird.
Let's mash up 3 10-year-olds.
What's cooler than turning 30 is Jason Paul, Luca Beaufort, Silky, and Andy Woll have just partnered with ourhouse.de, whatever that.
Which is what?
So it is a non-profit organisation that provides financial and ideal support for those who inspire. Jason announced this a couple of days ago on Instagram, and it's sick, basically. So it is a German foundation that give athletes money to just be athletes.
So
him, Luca,
I'm jealous.
Yeah. Him, Luca, Silky, and Andy are getting €500 a month just to be them.
What?
Like, imagine just covering potentially all of your rent or a good chunk of your rent.
Just on.
I mean, that's just like, it's sick for them, and also it's sick because it's like the more little things like this happen, the more proof there is in the pudding that like.
Proof in the pudding.
It's growing.
Well, it's growing.
Yeah.
There's people from outside, like, they're looking in and going like, okay, parkour's legit. Like,
interest,
we'll fund this. Because I mean, Robbie, I was talking to Robbie yesterday about this. He's day before yesterday. He's got money from the Scottish government before because just to help out with his stunt work and things like this. Like, there are funds out there, Prince's Trust and things, and it's worth looking into if you are athletes, especially in smaller countries. Like, I think Lynn had help from Luxembourg. I think when she won Art of Motion, she got like a grant from them just for like, the government's like, cool, you're an athlete, here you go.
Yeah,
that's sick.
So there's like, if you're starting to get a name for yourself in this sport and you're looking for money, it is worth looking into that kind of thing, for sure. But yeah,
But I want them to have something like that in England.
Well, they do, but I just don't know whether or not it's applicable.
I don't know. I mean, I've looked into the Prince's Trust before, and I can't remember whether, I think they said because I wasn't in, this was a while ago, I wasn't in education, so they wouldn't.
Yeah, there are some things that only apply to sort of certain criteria and stuff. But
still, that's pretty awesome.
Very cool for them, especially given that Jason's obviously just had Frida, so that's just like a nice chunk of money, just like that's your nappies and everything.
Babby money.
Yeah.
Babby.
Rushing through other parkour news, this morning Parkour Earth just announced they have a new CEO, which is Damien Puddle from New Zealand.
Right.
I know very, very, very little about this entire thing, so it was more of just like a...
Do you know who Damien Puddle is?
Yeah, so he's a guy.
I don't know.
He's been a driving force in the New Zealand community for years and years and years.
New Zealand community?
Yeah, he's been around for years. Luke met him when Luke went to New Zealand last year.
Sick.
But yeah, I mean, Parkour Earth was being run by Eugene Minogue, who then stepped down, and they've been looking for a new person for a while. And he's like a doctor and things. Like, he's a smart guy.
Sick.
I don't really know much more on the subject. I've seen some stuff that's very like immediately it's kind of very anti-fig, which is fine. Like, I'm still anti-fig, so to speak, but also I hope that
I think it needs to be more open. Now that I've learnt more about it through like Hendo.
Well, I feel like
things shouldn't be anti-fig from the get-go. It should be more like just we prefer this, but we're open to
Parkour Earth isn't necessarily like just anti-fig in the sense that it's not their sole premise of it, but they are the like the global organization or whatever they are. Therefore, what Fig is doing kind of conflicts with what Parkour Earth would like to do. The problem is that Parkour Fig have taken... They're so fucking far ahead already. They've made so many steps that I feel like, is it worth... Like, is it just pointless just to be like, fuck Fig, and like just make loads of noise on the internet when they're going to carry on doing what they do?
I don't know. Jordan knows him well.
What, Fig?
Yeah.
Do I?
Yeah, you fucking gymnast.
Oh, no.
You got the scars and everything.
I actually don't at all. I mean, I've understood a bit of Ed and Hendo and listened to the podcast, but yeah, I'm kind of in the same mindset as Kelan with just, I don't know, like the way it's been going on, and I was against it at the start.
I think
that's the thing. Yeah, you're against it at the start, and then now it's like, I think. It doesn't matter. Well, in my opinion, it doesn't matter.
I mean, it matters hugely because that's like the ignorant thing of like, sorry, that not to call you ignorant.
Yeah, no.
It's that's kind of like the thing of just like, like government, whatever, like blah blah blah, and it's like, well, you're throwing away your voice almost. But it does matter hugely. The problem is the Fig are so far ahead in the sense that they have already taken these like huge strides, while the parkour community has just sat on the internet and made loads of noise that hasn't actually done much.
Yeah.
And I kind of hope that Parkour Earth is able to do more than just make a bit of noise on the internet. Yeah. Like, I hope whether or not they want to stop Fig or whether or not they want to sort of align themselves, like, not with Fig, but like work alongside to point it in the better direction. Because we spoke about with Hendo the snowboarding Olympics.
Yes.
Where he said...
it ruined it.
He said it was shit for years and years and years because the sort of Olympics got involved and blah blah blah. But now finally they've got the right people in the right places.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And that's the thing.
But that can happen over time. So it's like.
It's like they're already there, they're already doing it. It's like I feel like our best responsibility is try and get the right people in the right places.
Yeah, exactly.
And point it in the right direction.
True shiz.
Speaking of competitions, do you see Tempest announce a street comp?
Absolutely didn't. That excites me.
This is
really?
So Kelan and Jordan.
I didn't even know that Tempest host competitions full stop.
I feel like I'm so unaware of so much.
Well, you have spent the last 2 days playing Minecraft.
Yeah.
Kelan and Jordan.
This is my life when it comes to podcasts. Giles just gives me my daily dose of Parkour news, and I'm like, sick. Okay.
They flew home early. Kelan and Jordan. They've literally been playing Minecraft for about 48 hours.
We completed the hardest thing ever. Do you remember? No, just hold on. Legit, we had this map where we had to do loads of like different things in it, and one of them was a puzzle level, and oh my god, it was just, I don't think I've ever used my brain so much in my whole entire life.
Intense.
Amazing. I can't wait till you have to do your accounts.
Mate, I could fucking be a millionaire if I use those skills. If we use those skills to line up graphs and stuff and find out where the loopholes are, we can get some illegal money running in. Anyway, the Mystery Pro Street Tournament, which...
Why Mystery Pro? Because that spells out Tempest. Well, it spells out TMPST. The Mystery Pro Street Tournament, which is pretty snazzy.
Can I look at it?
Look, there's the anagram or whatever it is. Look at the caption.
Oh, yeah.
The Mystery Pro Street Tournament.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So what it is, it's this Sunday, it's tomorrow actually. They are going to drop coordinates at a certain time for a location, and then everyone has to go there, and that's where they'll be hosting the comp. And they're going to be giving away some like cash prizes and stuff.
That's really cool.
It just says freestyle format jam style, so I think it's just like a freestyle jam competition.
Yeah.
But I rate the I always like it when Tempest do this, like they put a bit more effort into the marketing and like the branding and things, and
that looks cool.
It's the one thing I feel about Tempest is it always feels like it's very obviously it's very LA, but like I don't know.
You mean like official or?
They make a lot of noise on their own personal channels, but I think the LA community, just like the people outside of Tempest, aren't that loud on social. Yeah. Like if you did
the people outside of Tempest, what you mean like the community outside of
Tempest? Imagine running this competition in London.
Yeah.
Even if the same amount of people showed up as they did in LA or will in LA, I feel like you would see it more across the board on social media with like other people sharing it.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like this, I mean, maybe we'll be proved wrong, but this will happen tomorrow, and we'll see a lot of stuff on Tempest social media, which is sick.
Yeah.
But like,
I wonder what athletes will go out there. Though.
Yeah,
it depends who we see go out there.
I mean, it's not going to be people flying out; it's for locals, because obviously it's like they're dropping the coordinates.
I'm pretty sure they house like Nate Weston and stuff. Are they allowed?
Nate lives there now.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he's
on Tempest, so
he's not allowed. But he'll be there. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they'll be there.
So they'll probably we'll see some social media shizzle from them. But hopefully,
I like the
cool.
I like the steps in the right direction, I think.
What's your iPad passcode?
It's my bank code, so I won't air that.
Nice.
In case anyone wants to mug me.
Oh, so it's 3945, not 3925.
Yeah, that's the one.
There you go, guys. Imagine if it was. I guessed it.
3945. No, there's not even a single number in there that's correct.
Nice.
Jimmy the Giant, new documentary about Flow.
Yeah.
The failed Google YouTube channel.
The love story between you and Tim.
Yeah, it's basically just me and Tim
I
crying.
Actually really loved that.
So he sent me a draft and I watched it and I was laughing so hard because like, and it was really nice to see, like obviously, but it was so funny just to see the like the kind of story about like me almost, like me and Tim. It turned into that little bit where it's like he says something nice about me and I say something nice about him.
Yeah, did you know he was being interviewed?
I knew like Kieran reached out to me with the idea of doing this thing, and I gave him loads of info, and then I was like, you should speak to Tim. And I gave him Tim's number and he reached out to him, so I knew they were talking.
Yeah.
And then he just asked me to like, he sent me a load of questions and I just sent him voice notes.
Yeah.
And that's what he, I guess, like built the backbone of everything off.
Sick.
But no, I love did you see the Urban Free Flow one's got like 150k views?
Really?
No way.
It's like blown
that
the fuck
is exactly
up.
what Jimmy the Giant needs.
Exactly. Like he was like, I hope I can get 10k subscribers by the end of 2020 and he's like almost there already, I think.
Really?
That's crazy.
Which is sick.
That's
Yes.
really good.
'Cause he's putting in the effort, so
that's the thing. It's like
deserves
serious effort, and people said like, "Oh, set up a Patreon," and he's set one up, and I think he's only got a few people have like signed up to it at the moment.
But if he keeps it going, that's going to grow.
Exactly, it's the fact that people are showing that support already is really sick. Because it's like he's putting in effort, and therefore that effort needs to be.
Yeah, I maybe need to rewatch it because I think I only watched the draft with you. I don't think I've watched
in the gym
one.
I watched the full thing. It was
it's
sick.
really good.
Really good.
Sick.
Yeah.
What's he going to do next?
He's got. I can't remember.
I swear he said he was thinking about doing something.
There's been a lot of demand for one about Tim Sheaf, and then I think he told me maybe one more that he's going to do, but he's keeping them fairly under wraps because it's like it's nice to drop the surprise of like.
To be honest, one with Tim Sheaf would be good.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see how much he could say about Tim without upsetting Tim because he's already like now been in contact with him. It would be a bit awkward to like.
Yeah, because you can lay out the cold hard facts of like, well, Tim put this on YouTube and said he did this.
Yeah.
But unless you do it very like unbiased.
Yeah. I reckon he'd actually message Tim and be like, "I'm making this video about you." Like,
oh yeah, I'm sure he would.
Yeah.
But it's like if you're like, well, he did legitimately say that he had a wet dream after eating salmon.
Yeah.
It's hard to say that without the audience then perceiving the fact that you're taking the piss. Like,
yeah.
But to be honest, Tim knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Exactly.
He knows how to make people. He knows how to shock people, and anyway,
he knows how to be at the forefront of people's attention.
Yeah. Exactly.
On to the main fucking topic, I guess. We kind of knocked through those little talking points. Soul Destroyer shooting. Why Europe? Weather, locations, concept change? ?
I'm excited to talk about all of these, to be honest.
Go on then.
All in one?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I just feel like we've learnt a lot from this Europe trip compared to like when we went out in London in when was that? Summer last year.
May last year.
Oh, May.
Somebody commented
we had good weather.
May
we
had
good weather.
Freakishly good weather.
So nice.
We had such good weather.
Yeah. But like Europe, the Europe one was slightly different. I'm not sure why. It was a good thing, but do you know what I mean? I feel like we've learned a lot about how we create our own lines and how we work as like filmmakers and just how I think our energy works. Energy levels and mindset and all this stuff.
Well, I think in the Q&A that we did, there's a Q&A going on YouTube tomorrow night, so if you're listening to this late, then it's already up. Luke summed it up because he said like when we went out and started shooting Soul Destroyer, that was kind of when we realised what the video was going to be like almost. Like we didn't really have a plan. It was just like we went out and started shooting lines in a certain way or with a certain style of... Not a certain style of line, but like with a certain emphasis on certain things. Yeah. And it's now shaped it. And then in Europe, it was easier to implement that. Mm-hmm.
But I think it shaped it in a weird way in the fact that you said before we went out initially shooting the first time, I'm pretty sure you were like, not like Resurgence. Try and like just get as much training footage as possible and just build long lines. It doesn't have to be hard. And then because one person maybe on the first day will do a bit of a banger. I mean, everyone just wants to not one up the next person, but have their version of hardness in their run. So then I think that's what makes it quite hard in the end, because then you're just looking for the hard
It makes
runs.
it so hard. Our big video projects have been fucked from the day that Max, age 15, did the Concrete IMAX as the first clip of Resurgence. Mm-hmm. It was like, cool, let's start shooting this London video. And then Max did that on day one.
Yes.
And then from that point onwards, every single person involved was like, shit, well, we're going big. Yeah. So Resurgence was massive. And then going into this, as Kelan said, I was like, guys, we're going to show off new spots in London. Oh, you guys are super talented anyway, so you don't need to be looking for your hardest things. You just need to be doing what you enjoy and like semi-hard things, and it's still going to be a sick video. But for some reason, you guys can't do that, and you only look for the hardest things.
It's really hard to break it up.
But now it's turned from like Resurgence was like single clips. It was like single movements almost.
I think it was single movements, and like if I'm going to be completely honest, because I don't want people to think of Soul Destroyer as something different, but Resurgence is more of a shock factor video, I think.
Yeah.
I think every clip is trying to be a shock factor, where I want this Soul Destroyer is more of, you do have to really look at the runs.
Yeah.
It is just really focused on the movement.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the most important factor is the movement.
Yeah.
And it's gone from being like, oh, here's a massive Kong Pre to like, here's a 25-second run that has sort of 5 movements in it. One of them is the crux and therefore impossibly fucking hard. And it's like, I mean, you guys have put yourself through fucking hell.
You have to watch it with no ego. Like, you can't be comparing yourself, because I don't know, back in the day when you'd watch a video, sometimes if you're thinking in a weird way, you'd be like, oh, that looks kind of easy. I reckon I could do that. But if you eliminate that factor and see, hopefully we edit it well so you can see how hard some of the runs were for us. Like some of the ones that Jordan did, and to be honest, everyone did. It sometimes took fucking like 30 tries.
I mean, like that's why I wanted to put that clip on Instagram, because the one of Johnston, because I watched the selects and I was like, fuck, that moment is so like pure, and it sums up this entire project. And we've still got more to film. Like, the video is not going to be out for a few months because we're waiting on clothing stuff to be finished. So we're still going to shoot in London. But I feel like that is what the project has become, and it makes sense because it's Soul Destroyer. But it's like up sometimes 30 attempts. Like yesterday in Lisbon, before we flew home, Max went to revisit some strides that he wanted to do, and he stood there for about an hour and a half prepping and trying them and walked away from it in the end. And it's like, well, fair play, because they were fucking horrible and it was off his wrong leg. But that's what this project is it's like, it's the soul destroying hard mental battles. To
be honest, it's made me quite upset in some runs.
I
think it's made all of us quite angry.
I went from days just so
feel so
disappointed
flat
in myself.
Exactly.
And it's so weird from my perspective because like I feel so guilty. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm trying. There's no whip cracking, but sometimes I'm like, well, like I feel like. I don't know how to describe it. Like, I obviously want you guys to do the run because it's gonna look sick. Yeah. But at the same time, if you walk away, I'm like, cool, whatever. That's the smart decision to do. But then it's kind of like you'll be trying something and you're not getting it, and then I'm the one filming it, or Johnston and me are filming it, and you kind of look to us, and it's like, you ready to go again? Like we've got clips of Jordan literally like landing Rudies and going, pathetic, and like screaming. Like Max, you haven't seen it yet, Max was screaming yesterday.
Really?
You know, in that quiet area.
Yeah.
One time he did the prep and he drops down and he literally was like fucking raging out.
He does, for a very calm individual, when he can't get something run, he does fucking get annoyed with himself.
He just said it just because he went back for it. Like, that was the whole reason we went back to that area.
I can imagine how hard that would have been for him.
Yeah. And like Robbie had to fly had to go to the airport, and he was like, had one camera, and he was like, Max, I've got to go. Like, it was kind of the ultimatum of like, you're gonna have to call it almost. Yeah. It was so savage. Crazy. But yeah, so that's kind of what this thing's become, and it's still more to go. And I think when we filmed it all the emphasis on the filming. I mean, Johnson is a fucking wizard. Yeah, he's so talented with the camera, and the emphasis has really been like, there are not going to be many cuts in these lines. They're like,
it's legit built so you can just watch the movement instead of thinking about the editing. I think.
I mean, I definitely want to get a bit funky in places with the edit. We haven't started
it needs
yet.
to be good editing.
It's just like when it comes down to the lines, it's going to be the line starts and there is not a cut until the line ends, and then you might get a secondary angle, or like there's going to be intro. There'll be intro and outro clips and replays, but like because I mean, there's so many lines you two have done that are long. Yeah. Not like crazy long, but like hard, long. And
it'd be a shame to put a cut down the middle of them.
But also, it's like there's no fucking fakery. Like, this shit has taken time. Yeah. So
that's good.
I'm very excited.
And as well as that, it's going to be... I'm quite excited to see how it will look going from, like... I mean, it was sunny in London, but maybe a sunny London to sunny Vigo or Lisbon in the video, because we've shot over Europe. Why did we shoot in Europe?
Well, because, I mean, it was basically...
It was down to weather, wasn't it, essentially?
Yeah. We started filming in May, then we took a decent amount of time off just because, like, we weren't sure if we were going to just release a short video with the stuff we filmed in May. And then it was kind of summer, and we went off and did like Cinnamon Toast Crunch and all of that. Mm-hmm. And it was like, shit, we really need to do more with Soul Destroyer. And we knew it was getting pushed back to next year anyway because of the clothing issues. And then it was like, well, we need to start filming. And we tried going out in London and filming, and it was just too wet. And we kept going to spot. Yeah, it was just so shit. And I think I was with you, and we just kind of had the realization. We were like, we always work better when we are confined to an area or a trip. Yeah. And it's like, we have 10 days, let's do this. Yeah. We always work better than that. So we just looked at flights, and it was like, well, actually, to go to Europe for like 3 weeks and Airbnbs and things is really not that bad compared to a lot of things. So we committed, and we got decent-ish weather. Vigo and Porto were rainy a bit in places. Yeah, definitely could have been better. Lisbon was banging.
I'm so glad we finished in Lisbon.
I know, yeah.
I always knew Lisbon was going to be good, but it was quite difficult, especially starting in Vigo, because Vigo's spots are really good. I really love Vigo's spots, but because we had to get movement for Soul Destroyer and we don't know the spots, you almost don't get time to appreciate the spot. You're just battling to get that line before. Because say if we arrive to a spot and how many of us were on the trip, as in to do parkour?
8, yeah.
8. Okay, yeah. So say all of us are at the spot. 8 of us are looking for a line.
Yeah.
If 2 people find a line and you've got a line, you're the third person, it's going to get later in the day because the lines don't take 3 minutes to shoot.
And this is why I kept saying like, oh, we need footage that we need lines that aren't A grade.
Yeah.
Because they take because to those listening, when we go to like America and we do Spitting in the Wind or Cinnamon Toast Crunch or whatever, we'll go to an area, everyone trains, and I just wander around with a camera, and somebody goes, oh, I've got something, and then we film it. Oh, I've got something, and we film it.
Yeah.
With this, we keep trying to say, let's do that, but then for some reason what happens is we turn up, 7 or 8 people find, like 2 or 3 of them find a line that are so fucking hard that everyone else kind of sits like, and some
people just have to
we don't always want the shots clear, but everyone just kind of, it just ends up becoming almost like a spectator thing.
Yeah. Well, you have to accept that you're gonna get dead again, not dead as in like cold. Your muscles are gonna get cold when someone's doing their line, so just chill until your turn,
and then it's like me and Johnson on the camera, or like sort of if Johnson's doing a line, it's me on the camera with somebody else and things like this, and it is a weird process. It's not actually the best process. It's
create such a workflow though. Like everything we did, there was a specific way we did it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Like it is not the most enjoyable thing for all involved, I don't think. And it's, for some people, definitely find it harder than others. And it's such a horrible pressure to get lines.
It's horrible pressure when you walk back from a whole day trip, and because so much has gone on, sometimes you just don't realise, you're like, fuck, I haven't got a line. Like I just didn't get a line today. That's savage.
And it's as you said, we go to these like famous spots like in Vigo, and part of you wants to just do parkour tourism and go, oh my god, Foskey did that, this, and then you kind of want to do it yourself.
But then you're like, I've taken up all the time, and I should have got a run.
And we can't make like Soul Destroyer can't be classic Vigo movements. It can't be classic London movements. Like there's the occasional thing in places like Lisbon where it's really hard not to incorporate in classic things, but they've always got extra elements in there. But it's and therefore like you want to essentially just do parkour tourism and play around in the spots, but it's But the
good thing now is that we've done that there in these 3 locations. Now all I want to do is go back, so not shooting Soul Destroyer.
It would be so nice to do like a Europe trip and
and we can make videos, but it's we're just training, and we'll have that memory of being there as well.
We said the other day, we were like, next big project is not a big video, it's
trip. It has to be a trip. Because I don't think even though we do say this was a trip, I don't feel like it is a trip. Do you know what I mean? Like
there is definitely an aspect.
The tours that we've done and like for America, that's like a trip.
This is like a level of grueling work. And it's you see a very
video shoot. I feel like it's like we've gone there for the video shoot.
Like when I did Roof Culture, it was a very similar thing. It was like every day you wake up and you go out and you either scout or you find lines and you split up or blah blah blah, and like there's an objective, and it's keeping everyone on the objective and like keeping everyone focused is the really hard thing. And I definitely struggle because like I could probably be a better leader and like more motivating.
In what way?
Well, just at being like, come on guys, like remember like what we're here for.
But it's hard to do that without people.
But at the same time, I don't want to put any pressure on.
Yeah.
Because I'm not the one doing the death-defying.
But it did work when like, I think there was, I guess we can explain what cakes and Oreos are, but when we had when we had days,
finally,
when we had days when we weren't getting that many clips, and then suddenly the next day we'd be like, what are we doing? And then we're like, let's try and get as many runs as possible.
Yeah.
That just works, having that in the start of the day.
Yeah.
Suddenly it's so much easier to get runs, but
Yeah.
Should we explain a cake and an Oreo?
Yeah, I mean, cake, even though the cake is the better one, I think we should explain it first, because the cake came first. It came from the original trip.
So when in May, when we were shooting the original thing, it was Max's birthday, and we woke him up with a birthday cake, because that's normal, but we somehow in that day, we were like, I don't know, you get home at the end of the day, and you're like, how many lines did you get? And you're like, 4, 5, whatever. Like, by the way, to people listening, sometimes we literally get 2 or 3 lines in a day.
Yeah.
Like, even though we have that many athletes and that many spots, like, it just takes that long.
Yeah.
So yeah, 5 is like a decent number. And when we were out, we were like, we should try and get a line that, I don't know how, we were like,
I think it was like we got 5 and then we somehow compared that to a birthday
I think
cake.
it was before. I think it was in the process.
Is it?
Because we were like, we need to like make a cake for Max.
Yeah.
So each line represents the layer in a cake. It sounds so ridiculous.
Yeah.
But, so a cake is 5 because it's the bottom layer, it's 2 layers of filling, it's the top layer, and then icing or sprinkles or something.
Oh, right, yeah.
Technically, a birthday cake is 6, which is what we got the other day.
Oh, yeah.
We were like, we're going to get a birthday cake, and that's 6 because that's the candle on top.
Oh, yeah, that's the candles on
All the
top.
candles.
Yeah,
What we ended up doing on this trip was we had so many days where we got 3 that we
need to make ourselves feel better.
Yeah. And so we were like, we got an Oreo because that's obviously 3 layers, and then if you get 4, that's a double stuffed Oreo. So yeah, we have Oreos, double stuffed Oreos, cakes
and birthday cakes, and then the mythical wedding cake.
Yeah, mythical wedding cake
should be 10. I think
we think is 10. We don't really know how many layers a wedding cake has.
No, but 10 clips in a day would be mad.
It would be insane. And we couldn't really implement that on like a normal jam day, like a spitting in the wind.
No,
because then it's too normal. Like
But with this, I don't know. That happens every day as well. We'd always refer to it. It wasn't just a thing that's kind of
on
happened.
That trip. It was every single day.
Every
we were like
day.
counting in cakes or Oreos.
Yeah. It must be so hard to understand though to normal people
Yeah.
because like 3 clips a day just sounds so little.
Yeah.
It really does.
But when you put it into perspective and what we're doing and what we're shooting, it's actually...
Where it's like a clip, one clip could take an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And then you've got to walk in between spots.
Yeah.
There's warm-up time. There's everything. Like,
and spotting a line, I find the longest.
That's
the
the
longest
process.
time.
Yeah. Trying to figure out what you can do, and I found for myself, it's like you just kind of train, and then you find something that's mentally or physically challenging, and then after I've done that, I look back and go, hang on, I could turn that into this.
Yeah.
Just start piecing bits and bits together.
Because it doesn't work if we turn up and I go, Jordan, get a line. Kelan, get a line. They're like, well, I don't know what I enjoy here.
Yeah.
We typically like play a bit of stick, find some challenges, and then
stick was a good way to do it.
Yeah, stick's a good warm up, and then people kind of peel off, and they'll be like, oh, well, I like the look of this Kong Prix, and like maybe I like this tic tac, and I could. And you can see, and some people will peel off, and they'll go and sit down, and they might play a game of cards or something, and you're like, cool, well, that's like. You can tell they're not feeling the area, but others... And you kind of got to read the group. And if everyone's not really feeling it, which is weird because we had that quite a lot in Vigo. We'd go to like classic GUP spots.
Yeah, it was quite sad that this happened because in a way I think it was down to wrong mindset. Because if we did just look at a spot and just start training there...
And I think Vigo we were getting warm, like
but also like that was the first bit. That was before we'd just start playing stick because that was the first stop.
Yeah,
but we just look at spots. We turn up to them and be like,
everyone was like, "Fuck, I need a line," but at the same time, like Vigo spots are strange because you look at GUP and actually when you rewatch their videos, they do a lot of like filling space. They'll do a big reverse vault, Kong the ground twice, and then a big Kong Prix or something.
Yeah.
And actually, like, it's not the English style of training is quite different to that. Lisbon definitely, it definitely got better and better as we went further south.
Lisbon, and that's funny you say that because Lisbon spots, obviously they're different to Vigo, but then when you watch someone like Pedro and Luis train, they actually, I personally think they look more like English people training. But you get the tiny bits of like Spanish flow.
Yeah.
You can see when they climb over a wall and they do a bit of like a reverse vault or something.
Yeah.
But like
a lot more jumps.
But it is so interesting, to
stuff.
see how the architecture has shaped the athletes.
Yeah.
Porto is fucked. We basically, so in each city we went to, we had Shobu from GUP who came out for a few days and gave us some like pins on maps to tour, so we could tour around. Porto, we hung out with Marcio most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
He basically took us on a tour of all the ridiculous speed step prees that he's done, and some of them are literally like unconceivable.
Yeah. Yes, that's
like,
the right word.
fuck me, that high one.
I just don't understand how he committed first try to just doing the speed
Yeah,
step.
yeah. Like,
it's not like it's a small speed step either.
oh, there's
Like,
any speed step you think Marcio has done where like you're like, oh well, he stuck that beautifully, but it's not that far. It's
No,
still
they're
a
all
decent
fast.
fucking
They're all
size.
Yeah,
like-
it's
Because they're all like big Kongprix sizes.
Yeah. It's
They're all
so
gross.
impressive. And then Lisbon, we hung out with Luis and Pedro, and they showed us some amazing spots.
Yeah.
I miss it so much. I miss Lisbon the most right now because
Yeah.
I knew Lisbon was going to be good. It definitely
Yeah.
was the one I was looking forward to.
Yeah.
Looking forward for everybody.
I mean, this
to get
time
to.
yesterday, I was sitting outside a restaurant getting sunburn, and now we're here, and it's shitty.
Mm.
But
Cloudy,
yeah,
yes.
I feel like what we're doing right now is we're hyping it because we're getting people excited, and then we've still got ages.
Oh, we want to get. Well, we say ages. For us, we're going to be editing it soon.
I know we need to start, and I'm terrified.
Yeah.
We actually don't know how this is. Like, I don't think it's going to be cities because
No, it wouldn't work.
and
like
I don't
that.
think it's going to be athletes. I think it's just going to be montage.
Should be montage, yeah.
To anyone who's not aware, this is going to be a long form piece. Like, we're aiming for like 40 minutes maybe. Should we announce the main thing?
What?
The like that thing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Probably because then it's just people who've heard the podcast. 'Cause it is not that it should be a
It's
secret.
not like it's a
but
bad thing to mention.
No, it's a
anyways.
great
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
great thing, but it's just cool that people with the
Go on,
podcast
Keelan.
gets to decide. We want your money, bitch. that was a horrible way. No. We would like to make. Sorry, just dropped something. We would like to make our first video piece that we could sell because we've never done that before.
Basically,
And we put so much effort into this that of anything we've done, it would make sense to sell it.
We're almost certainly, unless we can really unless we struggle with music licensing or somehow when it comes to the edit, we're just like, nah, this isn't worth it. Because we were going to sell Spitting in the Wind, and then because that was going to be a long form piece, and then that turned episodic.
But that fitted more episodically.
Yeah,
because of the,
that worked so well.
Long
But
stuff.
almost certainly we're going to sell this just because the money we've put into it, the effort that you guys have put into it, it's just like, and we want to. There needs to be more pay-per-view content in parkour. Like Stora have done it. There's been a couple other people who've done pay-per-view stuff, and it's like we want to push that boundary.
Yeah, and there's athletes that have said to me, I'm pretty sure, and on social media, they're like, there needs to be more of this. Like people who just want to pay for it to watch because it builds the culture.
And some people won't buy it, and that's fine. Like it's. But I think we're in a position where we can sell it because of sort of a level of hype and effort, and therefore I think we will. So I'm excited to see how it does, really. And obviously there'll be more info about that as it comes, and it won't be crazy expensive because this isn't a full length hour and a half long documentary like Stora. It's an action piece, much like skateboarding, BMX. Like you see it happen all the time in those sports, so we need to normalize this because, like, let's say Tempest makes something or Farang makes something, like people need to be aware that by buying that it supports them. It's like buying a t-shirt.
It's going to give us the opportunity to continue doing more.
Well, that's the thing.
Projects,
Like we've already had the discussion that like that money that comes from the sales will just go straight back into another larger thing.
And then that's more and more content.
More and more content, more and more fun things for us to do and live well. You're so tired. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you fucking slept. Oh no, you went to bed at 2 a.m, didn't you?
Yeah, but still slept into 11. That's
quite
a good sleep, to be honest.
Let's talk about injuries to guilt trip people into buying it.
My toe's broken.
Keelan broke his toe. Jordan twisted his ankle playing stick.
Yeah. It wasn't even.
No, we were just doing a running
stick,
through.
and then we just set this challenge, and I did the challenge, and just
That is the really like not scary, but like it can just happen.
Yeah. It's hilarious because this is the worst injury in parkour I've actually had.
Really?
Yeah, ever. Yeah, completely. Yeah.
Like Jordan was doing banging lines, and then that was Vigo, wasn't it?
Yeah. Did free. Yeah.
Did a running pre to a step just as like warming up, and busted himself bad, which put you out for what, like a week and a half?
It wasn't actually that long. I think it was around 5 days.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because I just for anybody that doesn't really know, I do take this very seriously, and I was just, after I did that, I was so disappointed in myself, even though it wasn't my fault, and everybody kept on saying it, like, there's nothing I can do about it, because it happens to everybody.
Yeah.
But I just knew what we were there for, and I was just so disappointed because I was worried I was going to come out of this trip with no banging clips.
Yeah.
So I was just on the rehab, just basically just doing stretches with the elastic bands and stuff, doing some stuff, and luckily I got straight back. Well, not straight back, but it took a couple of days, a couple of down days.
Yeah.
But managed to come back.
There were a few days where it genuinely felt like everyone had some form of an issue.
Yeah.
Like Robbie has bad
chronologically, fucking Max injured himself for the longest time.
Max thought he broke his heel or like broke his foot. We think maybe just bruised his heel on day one. First thing he did, fucking savaged his foot. Was literally out until the last 4 days of Lisbon, and then just went on like, I don't think anyone really realised, but he went on like a fucking killing spree of getting lines.
So out of nowhere.
Like there was one day.
Crept up on us.
Yeah.
We got on Max flavoured Oreo one day. Like he just came out and was like, "Yeah, I feel alright. Like my foot feels fine." And in one day, he just got 3 fucking incredible lines.
That's what I didn't understand, because like his ankle was like so bad, and suddenly just one day he was like, "Oh, actually, I can do jumps still."
Yeah. Because he went from being like, "I don't think it's bruised. I think it's got something worse going on." And then so hopefully it's not. I mean, I think he's all right. Like it might be worth him getting it checked out. But I mean, he was doing a lot. And Robbie's had bad knees. Luke's had bad knees. Johnston's had bad knees.
Yeah, the old tendonitis.
Yeah. Like
I hope we.
Johnston was all right.
Johnston was all right. Fuck me.
Yeah.
Anyone who's listening to this, Johnston is going to be the dark horse of this video.
Yeah.
Like he's
done so much behind the camera and so much in front of the camera.
The worst part is people are gonna the amount of people, I'm gonna get way more credit for this than I deserve, because people are gonna go, "Oh, amazing edit, Giles," and it'll probably be you.
But the driving force behind it as well, and also
amazing camera work, Giles, and I did 5%. Like he is so good.
I mean, you could have got a line. We told you to get a line.
Yeah, everyone wants me to get a line, but I'm not a gimmick.
Not a gimmick.
Yeah, he's so good on the gimbal, like and also like the handheld shit he gets. He's the slowest person on earth, and he's a hoarder, and he's disgusting. And I give him so much shit for that, and he doesn't charge his batteries. Like Jordan, one night we've had the last line of the day. No, the last line was your line, but we couldn't film that on the gimbal because the batteries ran out. But Jordan was literally doing lines in between. The gimbal would die, and then we'd wait a few seconds, turn it back on, and the battery would be flashing.
Oh yeah.
Johnson was like, quick,
go Jordan, go, like fucking risking his life doing palm flips,
slippy walls.
Yeah. And then literally he'd finish his line and the gimbal would die again. And that's all because Johnson doesn't charge his shit, even though I tell him to every evening. So I'll give him shit for that, but fuck me, he's talented. And every single line Johnston got is insanely hard.
Yeah.
And
especially I'm glad that it was the last one that he got. That was the thing.
And he retired before that. Did he? Yeah, he was like, I want 2 lines from each city.
Yeah.
So he got 6 in the whole trip, which for him is good because he obviously films a lot.
That's so nice that he set himself like that, because
he was like that. I'll be happy if I get 2 in each city.
Yeah, because he's putting so much effort into the filming. Like he really cares about the filming of it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He really does. And he got more than 2 each.
And then on that last day, he was just like, "Oh, I found one," and it took him so long, and he banged it, and it was sick. And it is funny what he says, because like you watch that line, and it is a sick line, but it's not like it's not a game changer.
Yeah, you can't compare that to any kind of resurgence big banger.
Yeah. No.
But it is hard. Because, because I would struggle so much with what he just did.
Yeah.
It's just you can't tell from the camera.
It's like because all these lines have their certain bits, and yes, it might just be a palm flip, or it might just be a side flip over a wall.
It's a crux, like it's
connecting all those pieces of movement up, and like just something as simple as like 3 steps in the middle after doing your flip and then getting those 3 steps right to lead you up to the next like obstacle
to have the
in
right
run.
power, yeah.
It just makes it so hard. So like some of the runs might just look, oh, okay, that looks simple, but honestly, like it's just,
I loved it though. What he said is so true, and after witnessing it firsthand, his reaction makes me think differently of like when I want to get runs now. Because obviously we're still going to be shooting for this in England, and I think it is true about how he just didn't, because he said he didn't want to look at it yet. He just sat down and
he was like, I just need to fucking appreciate this.
Yeah.
Well, it's because he never got that plyo until we start. Like he prepped it so many times and he couldn't get it. And he was like, we did a safety version of that line that didn't have the plyo.
Yeah.
And then he was like, okay, I'll try a couple with the plyo, and then banged it like 3rd or 4th try.
Yeah. So happy when he
did. He said he said to me afterwards he felt like when he did the safety one he was like walking away from the plyo.
He said there was Matthias Meyer wrote a caption about like walking away from something like diminishes the ego side of it. So then when he went back to it was just him versus the challenge. So he was like, cool, I've got what I want, my ego's gone, and now it's just I'm just going to tackle this challenge, see if I can get it. So
Johnson gets so many emotions from training. Remember that day at Chaos when he was like, he thought he was like gonna pass out or something after doing that run.
Oh yeah, you weren't there for that.
Like,
fuck
no.
He literally he did a run, right? And it was in one of the preps where he just banged a Kong Pre that he'd done the Kong Pre but he hadn't done it in the run, and he was prepping this whole bit of a line leading up to the Kong Pre. So we weren't expecting him to do the Kong Pre, and then he just suddenly did it.
It's like, I felt like an animal.
Yeah, he came back up. He was like, I don't know what happened. I hit the ground and I felt like an animal and I just did it. And we were like, what the fuck? And then he did the line a few times. I don't know, maybe it was after the first time he did the line. He came back up and he like sat down. He was like, I feel like I've had 4 coffees and I don't feel like I'm in my body.
He was like, I can't remember doing that run.
Yeah, he was like, what just happened? Like, and we were like, Johnson, that's called adrenaline.
But had he had 4 coffees?
No. He was just jacked on like.
That's unusual for Johnson.
Because it was just
has a lot of coffees.
It's just an aggressive line. He was just jacked on like the adrenaline side of things.
That's jokes. He's such a funny guy.
The really cool thing was that day, the last day we were filming near the beach, and Daniel came out, who was the friend of Pedro and Luis, and he came up to me and he was like, it's so cool to see your process. And I hadn't really thought about it from an outsider perspective, because like we just sort of do what we do.
Just work,
but it isn't, as we've been saying, it isn't just like everyone's jamming out and I'm shooting lines. There's very much a process.
Definitely.
And he was like, it's really fucking cool just to like stand here and watch this.
Interesting. I didn't think of it, but it is very unusual to training, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really not the same as training.
Completely different.
And it's like it is not good in the long run to work like that, I don't think.
No.
It's very much a per project basis. Like it's not it's but I think it's good to do. I think it's good to do it, but I don't think it's good to like, that shouldn't be how you treat your training. That's not what training's about.
No, not at all, because I spoke to someone about it on the trip that I'm excited to obsess over parkour again. I don't feel like I was on that trip. I don't feel like I was obsessing. I don't think I was obsessing over parkour, because it was like I wanted to get the lines, but I wasn't thinking about like wanting to get better at this, and like, I want to get loads of running pre's. I want to practice that. It's just like you get to a spot and you're like, run. Where is it? Where's the run? I've got to find it.
It's such a it almost doesn't make me happy that it's like that, because it's not natural. Like training should just be fun and natural.
It isn't, but we've all definitely got so much better at building lines.
I mean, I don't know. I personally still feel like all the lines I got felt natural. They were I just knew what outcome I had to get from the spot. And I knew that I had to get a line. But
you just have to put yourself in like a box, don't you? You have to be like it's the objective. It's like, I'm here for a purpose, and like this is kind of what I'm here to do. Makes me feel like shit because I just don't do the lines. It's a horror.
Again, I wanted you to get a line.
I know. It's I feel so guilty like all the time.
You shouldn't do that. It's like, feel guilty that your iPad keeps turning off.
It's like, I mean, because someone like Jordan, you seriously beat yourself up, and like I can see you like when that one that you finished with a double cork, and you go back up to the start, and you would stand there, and I can see you like focusing on all the areas, and you're like, bum 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 bum, like I'm doing that. But I can also see this like angst on your face of just like, I'm knackered, I'm not eating enough. Like,
but the thing is, Jordan's not thinking, oh, this wasn't like, if you guys weren't here filming, I'm just going to give up on this.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to...
that's the thing. If you weren't there, I'd still be in that exact same position with the same, like, mindset.
Yeah, true. Because you're on it.
For myself, like, that's all it was.
Yeah.
And if anything, probably grateful that people were filming it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you obviously be in the same position, but you're like, okay, I can actually capture this on camera. This is my time to, like, get this. Your reaction actually on the end of that double cut run is so good. Why was that so hard?
So funny. You know, actually, one of the hardest people I reckon to film is George, because So the problem with George, right, is he's so freakishly good at what he does, like his style of movement, that he turns up to a spot. The really hard thing on trips like this, by the way, is to maintain an Instagram presence, i.e. get training clips while also getting hard lines, because you've only got so much energy. And I'm so aware that you guys should be like grafting on Instagram at the same time. But George will like rock up and he'll be like, oh yeah, and just name a fucking ridiculous challenge that basically he's the only person in the world that he can do, that, and go like, oh yeah, I'm going to film this just for Instagram. Yeah. And I'm like, George, can we not film that for the video? And he's like, no, it's easy, it's shit. And I'm like, no, George, like, so if you haven't got a line,
it's because he's a video game character.
It's like you haven't got a line in a few days. Like it'd be really good to
do
like,
everything.
Yeah, it'd be really good to get this for the video. Like, why don't you do that and maybe just add something on? And he's like, no, I'll just do it for Instagram. And I'm like, what? And you have to talk him round to doing something, and then he does it, and everyone loses their fucking shit at it. Like, I think we all know the line I'm talking about at the spot where you and Keelan got a line. Yeah. And he just acts as if it's just absolutely nothing.
Like, if I was to try that, I'd get nowhere near.
Yeah.
His power and
And it's he doesn't understand that he's like so talented. Yeah. But I mean, he definitely struggles with line building, creative wise, because you go to a spot and he's like, oh, but I don't just want to do pliers and strides, and it's like, cool, well, why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? He's like, nah, I'm not good at that. Yeah. And then that line he got where we like helped him build it, and it's got the weird palm spin variation. It's so sick.
It's so good.
What one's that?
Yeah.
At what spot?
You know, the staircase spot.
In Porto. You weren't there. It was in Porto.
Yeah.
Oh, what, the one with the...
Keelan had to fly home for 3 days to go and work, and then he flew back out.
Yeah. So the one with the handspring at the end to Kong out.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
But George, he was like, oh, I can't palm spin that way. Like, I'll do this. And was like, oh, it looks like shit. And we were like, George, that looks fucking sick. Yeah. But yeah, he's a tough one, though, just because of, like, he doesn't understand how good he is. Yeah. So, whereas you guys are the opposite. You especially do stuff and you're like, is that good enough? Yeah. And I'm like, yes, of course. Like, no way, that's not the opposite of George, but you look at it a different way.
Yeah.
No, but it is hard to think in that way. Like, what's the difference between getting something that everyone's like, oh no, that looks really, really good, and then you don't want to watch this video when it's done, and look at a line and go like, oh, that was kind of easy for me. Like, you want to look back and go, yeah, that was hard. Don't want to do that again. That was fucking ridiculous. But,
it's like you're leaving your mark on a spot, because what you want, especially for the London bits where like some of these spots are untouched by other people, and they'll then go there after this video and be like, oh fuck, like you don't want them to go there and be like, oh, fair enough, like that's easy.
Yeah.
So
exactly. Selects.
Yeah, I've just got written down selects.
Personally, one of my favourite parts of the day.
That's just
love it so much.
I mean, that's a tradition that has come about for. I don't know when that really started. Like
lease.
Yeah, lease. Oh, we didn't do the reverse thing. What we
did the first.
We did it a couple of times.
So we're gonna have to do that.
We'll have to do that after this. In lease we started this tradition of you cut selects and then you watch them back from that day each evening, and then we would then reverse it and watch that just to see how fucked up the movement looks. It looks so weird. But
some of it looks nearly possible.
We did that in Roof Culture as well.
Really?
I thought that started at Roof Culture, but actually, I mean, it's not like we started watching selects.
Yeah.
Oh, we revolutionised that.
Yeah. But no, it's
Origins lease was before Roof Culture.
It's a very romantic thing. Everyone gets round.
Well, you get around and everyone like celebrates each other's runs.
Yeah.
It's really nice. And it also forces you to dump and back up your footage twice before you do it, because you're like, cool, the footage is safe, it's spread out, now we put it in Premiere and sort it out.
I think it also, usually for me, it hypes me up for the next day. If I've seen everyone's clips, just fucking battered them. Like, if we watch everyone's clips and then I'm like, I want that to happen tomorrow as well.
You see the whole thing coming together as well.
Yeah.
And
it does just make you happy.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. Yeah.
It's so crazy though, because like we have well over 24 hours worth of raw footage, i.e. every single time we've hit record on the camera, that's on a timeline just to see what it is.
Yeah.
But the actual length of, I've got a select project or timeline open that is single angles of all of the runs we have, and it's like it doesn't seem like that much compared to how much we filmed.
Yeah.
But also I know that we have so many extra angles and attempts, and because that's the thing with this edit, is like we're gonna be showing attempts, like
replays and attempts.
It's not just gonna be like, oh, this is all the golden moments with no like hardship. It's gonna be like, see the fucking struggle.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason it's called fucking Soul Destroyer.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that it was soul destroying.
Yeah.
I'm saying like it's already happened. We still got
more to do. Yeah.
Still got some more to do, but that was a big bulk. That was probably the biggest bulk so
for
far.
sure. Well, the biggest bulk in one chunk.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm excited for your stuff, or for people to see your stuff, because it's like Restore Joy was like the showing the world your new style almost, and then you've obviously kept that up throughout Instagram and other videos.
Yeah.
But this has some lines in it that are like the antithesis, or whatever the word is, of.
Well, I had to try and do. I'm obviously going to try and do the same style, but like add stuff that's hard for me now.
Yeah.
It's just so
And
good.
it is so difficult.
You've got like,
but the hardest thing is it's really hard. Well, when I do something and then it doesn't feel right. I don't know what I mean. Everyone's had that.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Like, say if you get a stick and you're like, that didn't feel good body wise.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, oh, that was pretty good. Like, it looks nice, and you're like, okay, am I taking it, or do I get one that feels nice personally?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was fucking fun. Like,
you got your lines have got like Kelan funk in them, mixed with ridiculous technicality, like hardness comboed, which is sick. Fuck that line. That's a sick line.
Yeah.
I'm happy with the stuff.
I like having it all in my head. Yeah.
I just want to get more parkour-y lines.
It's really cool because like I relate this. I don't relate it to roof culture, but it's like, because it's a big secret project and we've been talking about it for so long, there is that like weird hype factor in the same way that like roof culture I was involved in, so I knew what was coming.
Yeah.
But a lot of roof culture was, I mean, obviously incredible parkour, but a lot of it was like, whoa, rooftops. Whereas this is all just ground.
Yeah.
Like obviously there's spot porn because it's like new cool spots.
Yeah.
But really it's just so about the movement. Like it's
that's what I'm so excited for. I'm excited to watch it back when I want to get hyped up throughout training.
Yeah.
Because it would just be all my mates, and I get to watch them all train really hard.
Yeah.
And then I can go out training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh fuck. Let's
I'm very
complete
excited.
it soon, please.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So when is it coming out? Everyone keeps asking. We don't have any confirmed dates yet, mainly because we haven't started editing it,
But we have a rough deadline. Right?
So basically, clothing is looking like it's going to be ready. The final few things, end of April, early May. Those are very rough deadlines. So that's actually later than what I wanted, but actually it's meant that we have more time to film for this and make it the best thing it can be. So that's kind of our penciled thing. But like, it's gonna come out spring summer this year, basically. Like it's not getting pushed back another year. It's not getting pushed back to winter unless some freak disaster happens. Like. Yeah. It's gonna, because I mean, fuck me. Somebody messaged and they were like, "Oh, the Where the Fuck is Soul Destroyer podcast came out 6 months ago," because that was when we filmed. That was like, I mean, I watched Power Moves Only on the plane last night, the one we filmed in Ollerup, and Johnston's wearing one of the early Soul Destroyer prototype tees. And
seriously,
that's early 2018.
Jeez.
Oh my god!
So the concept has been there for so long.
Yeah, at least we can say in the title, or right at the end in the credits of the video, a year in the making, because it was pretty much like...
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's lying saying that, because actually, in terms
because there's gaps.
In terms of filming days, it's over a month, but it's not like every filming day.
Yeah, but we couldn't have bashed it out all in one. That's the thing. Because to work around everyone's lives, it's been fucking difficult. Yeah. Because if anyone doesn't know, we all live in different places.
Yeah.
Jordan lives in Norway.
Yes.
To be fair, that is easier to get to London than it would be from Newcastle.
Very true. Yeah.
So, wow, that's interesting.
I think it's been compared to like Resurgence, where it felt like every weekend we could just get to London, and it cost a bit of money, but everyone was free. For you guys, this has been like that. These last year or so has been quite transitional because like you've been picking up jobs. You've been there's like more commitments that you have rather than just like being a teenager and having school.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot harder to like get
Definitely.
everyone.
Definitely.
But it is coming. Fuck me, we've just hyped that up way too much, and now
I know. My brain kind of hurts now from hyping that up loads because I've just realised I want to go out and film some more.
Who wrote Big Dick Energy in the notes?
Me. I wrote that right at the start.
Oh really? I've only just got down there. Oh dear.
That.
What's that even about?
I don't. It's just
Big
it's
dick
just a card.
energy.
Like it's just look. It's from one of the things. I just wrote big dick energy.
Yeah. Beautiful. Love it.
Yeah.
Jordan will be converted.
What's this about?
That's the next note.
Very, very confused.
You're very confused.
Yeah.
No, the reason that is written down because obviously near the end of the podcast we turn off all our listeners by talking about music.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why. It just seems to always be the thing we do.
Yeah.
And I was thinking this yesterday or the day is that I think you are the next person who's going to get converted to like
you need
heavy
to
music
Yeah,
because you always say you enjoy it a little bit.
Yeah.
And whenever we play stuff, because me and Keelan obviously like, I mean Keelan's incredibly diverse, but you like your heavy bits.
But the amount.
Jordan's always kind of bobbing his head, and I'm like, is he doing this for politeness, or is he doing this because he enjoys it?
I genuinely enjoy
Well,
it.
and this is what you're saying. So
yeah.
I think it's not going to take long until you're slowly converted.
Like,
just need to be in England at the right times for us to go to a gig, and then you come with
that's
us.
the thing,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I've been to heavier gigs before, and like I do just enjoy. Like I do enjoy that music. I don't. It's like it's not in my Spotify playlist. I do have like a heavier playlist that I listen to once in a while.
Yeah.
But it's mainly just like I am quite diverse with music
Yeah,
taste.
yeah. Well, that's what I mean. It's like you're aware of it and you're not objected, and therefore I think it's easy to fuck you up.
Yeah,
And like a few long car journeys, and you'll start being like, okay, I'm getting it.
That's good.
But no, fucking shitload of good music to anyone
Yeah.
who likes the heavier stuff.
So excited for Shikari's.
Shikari just released a new song. They got an album coming out. Black Peaks
We're going to
playing
see them.
live again after a year or so of the lead singer having sepsis. When are we seeing them? Is it April?
Brighton. I didn't even check the date.
That is the next Prodcast meetup. Everyone who came to the While She Sleeps at the Roundhouse, not Roundhouse, Brixton.
When are you back in England?
I don't know, anytime you want, Keelan.
Black Peaks would be a good one to come to.
You'd really like Black Peaks. Very singy.
Me and Keelan have got tickets to that, so if anyone wants to come, I think Marcus is going to come. Oh, fuck me, and Loathe are playing, not Loathe, Polaris are playing in London in a couple of months.
Oh, really?
And
Why don't we get tickets for that?
We need to get tickets for that.
Yeah.
Polaris have just dropped a new album the other day.
I just listened to the first few songs of that album in the shower.
Very, very. You need to listen to it like in headphones.
And then,
And Loathe dropped their album, who are just so obnoxiously heavy, but also diverse. I've been listening to a lot of that. So I'm very excited by music at the moment. Oh, and Can't Swim. That came out a while ago. But so I was on one of the most hectic landings on a plane yesterday, coming in the wind. And to anyone who's listened to this before, I don't particularly enjoy flying nowadays. I did have a few beers in my system, but I was fucking loving it. Like, literally.
Was it like 4D experience of like music?
Well, you know when you see
It's like heavy music and it was, whoa, fuck, the plane's going side to side. And
yeah, well, you know when you see planes and they land sideways, they come down and the tail's coming round on the runway.
Yeah.
Like, there was a big one recently in the storm. We came through the clouds. The whole flight was so chill, no turbulence. And then we came through the clouds and it was like we were getting fucked around in the air.
Yeah.
And this man next to me who'd just been playing Sudoku for like the entire thing and watching Selects over my shoulder. Like,
Really?
He kept putting the book down and just I could see him just watching and I was like, you're enjoying this. He put his book down and like looked at me and I had my headphones on and I was listening to this Can't Swim like EP and just fucking I checked my heart rate and it was at like 75. Like look, right now it's at 77.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you've got that
So
as well.
on my Fitbit. So it was like
So it
similar.
was like good levels.
I
but
was
you're
so chilled and I was just loving the music and this man next to me like turned to me and he was like, oh, it's windy, yes, or something. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. And then I got a little bit more worried because I was like, I could see everyone else starting to shit
stressing
it.
out,
And
yeah.
Sarah
Yeah.
was up in front of me. She kept turning around to make sure I was alright.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, this is great.
God, that's me
jokes.
and Keelan said. Well, I said that to people. Like
You've had worse ones, but I
Yeah.
said, because I fucking shat myself, exactly the same as you. Fine, whole flight.
Yeah.
I was convinced that it was just going to be the smoothest flight I've ever had.
Yeah.
And then we broke through the clouds, and then the plane wouldn't stop tilting left and
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
and I was like, the wing's going to fucking hit the ground.
Yeah. It's when you come down towards the runway and the wing, and you're like, oh no.
Shit.
But we didn't have so much left and right. It was this.
The tail.
Yeah.
But I was literally looking out the window. I was like, that we're going to abort this landing because
Yeah.
like we'd gone past so much of the airport before we finally hit the ground.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought we were gonna do that on the way down as well.
Yeah.
'cause I
We've
was
gone
thinking
so
that,
far ahead.
I was
of
like
it.
looking at the buildings, and I've landed at Gatwick hundreds of times now,
Yeah.
and I was just like, we're going back up again.
Yeah.
And then we were like, bubble!
Yeah.
Like,
Have
and
any of you
everyone
ever-
started fucking clapping and cheering.
Oh
and I was
god!
like, oh.
Has any of you ever been on an aborted landing?
Yeah,
flight?
once.
Yeah, twice.
Have you?
Yeah.
What? I've never been on one. Is it
Santorini.
scary?
It's just like you feel like you're about to land, and then suddenly your head's in the back of the chair, and you're going back. Up
It just
again,
feels
you're like, whoa.
Yeah, you.
Does not everyone just get really scared? Because I'd be shitting myself.
It's
if it was
actually
aborted.
so quick, and it actually feels quite controlled when I had it. Like I had it at Santorini because Santorini airport's really small.
Yeah.
And you have a second or two of like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
But then you feel like you're just taking off again. So you just feel like you're going back up into the air, and therefore you feel quite safe because you just kind of go like, whoa, and you go, oh, okay. Like,
yeah,
and then
that's
you're
what's
back up
happening.
again,
So
Weird.
but
It's
yeah,
still scary though.
yeah.
Yeah, we
But-
went to the shop and we felt the wind, and we were like,
Yeah, you said you were like,
Giles is not going to be
Yeah,
enjoying
yeah.
this. Yeah.
No, normally I wouldn't be, but I think somehow Sarah being on a plane makes it all right because at least she dies with me. She can't be left to look after Darwin on her own. Has to be both of us.
what?
What
Because you
about
get
Darwin?
jealous. You get jealous that she'd get lots
Oh,
of Darwin.
motherfucker! We came back last night. We spent the entire car journey like,
Oh yeah.
Darwin's gonna be so happy to see us. He's gonna be so happy to see us. We walk in the kitchen door, no barks, no nothing. We like creep through the house, go into the living room because Jordan and Keelan came to ours early, and Darwin's just on Jordan's lap. Just he looks at us. He's like, "Yeah, you're right." I was like, "You motherfucker!"
He loves you so much.
Yeah.
I know.
Before he even saw you, that you weren't that hyper when you first saw Darwin.
Yeah.
I don't think, but he immediately just thinks,
It's
you're the play man.
He can sense the allergies.
You're the play man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, Jordan's allergic to me. I'm gonna fuck him up.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, we should wrap this up and go and get fucking bevved
and belly busted.
yes,
Yeah.
we're going to Smith and Weston, which is a birthday tradition from when we used to live at an old flat, and even Sasha had his birthday at that Smith and
Oh,
Weston.
Really?
Yeah, one year.
First time. I'm looking forward to
It's
it.
a great
I've been
restaurant.
once.
They all
It's
wear
really good.
cowboy
Oh,
hats.
Yeah. We have to wear them.
No, they wear cowboy hats.
Oh, they do.
It's a weirdly themed
have to wear
place.
What?
It's definitely not a fancy place, but it is
Yeah.
it's a
Mate, food's food.
gluttonous
Yeah.
place. Well, thank you very much, listeners. We will be back on our normal schedule of me and Keelan chatting shit, and we're going to try and get some more guests lined up. I actually was speaking to Phil Doyle, who is very keen to come on.
Oh, go on.
So, but he requested that George comes on at the same time.
Oh,
Really?
That
Which-
would
that'd
be
be
so good.
That would be a good combo if you think about it.
Yeah, it
It'd
just
be
means we
fucking
have to get
weird.
George here, but we'll get on it.
Whoa! But we better be doing it in person with Phil.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't not do it in person.
That's he'd be the worst without being in person.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Anyway,
And yeah, we're going to try and keep the YouTube schedule popping, so thank you for all the support there. And oh fuck yeah, there's a winter sale end of winter sale going on, which I don't know when I'm going to end it, but a week or two max.
so go and save some money and buy
Yeah,
stuff now.
up to 40% off on loads of stuff in the preparation for us basically then putting thousands of Soul Destroyer items on the store.
Yep.
So yeah, go get some cheap shit.
Ask your mums and dads.
Mummy, can I have some free trousers? Because you buy them all.
Perfect.
Wicked. Alright, love you lots.
Yeah, see you later. Big
Bye-bye.
dick energies.
Big dick energy.